Apologies, and welcome back to Sports Check on this Monday morning, and it is the 9th day of August 2021, and our sign language interpreter within this hour is Lensa Odingo. And continuing with our conversation around sports, after the Tokyo Olympic Games, so much to be said and so much work to be done heading into the Commonwealth Games 2022 and also Paris 2024. So what's next lined up for one of the sports? We're joined by Simiyu, who is the head coach of Shujaa, the Kenya Sevens team, who finished 9th at the Tokyo Games, and I'll be taking you. He'll be taking us through these matches one by one, plus also the series that's coming up, starting with Vancouver in September, heading to the Americas, and what it means for their preparations. And a very good morning to you, Simiyu. He's joining us from Bungoma County.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for your time this morning. First of all, the overall performance of the team at the Olympics. You spoke much about execution. Could give us an overview of how it went down in Tokyo.
One of the biggest targets for us in the Olympics was to compete for the medals. I think we were not able to compete in the medal bracket. But the team put in a good fight. They gave it their best. All the games were very competitive. It came down to a score. For us as a team, it's a positive because we have improved on the performance of the previous Olympics. So the journey for the next Olympics starts now, and we have seen that preparation is very key in regards to get performance in the Olympics.
So, Coach, let me first talk about the first game that you played against the United States. It was a very close game for you. 19-14, the United States winning it right at the death. And I'm sure
a lot of people were saying, well, looks like this is the right start. What was that final moment where the US was able to break through the defense line, get that get those 7 points that changed the entire perspective of the pool?
It was, I think for us, if you look at that game, you have to look at it in context. Because it started slow, it went up, but we got a groove back. We don't need to go. Unfortunately, we don't have to try. But preparation for the Olympics game is a very vital thing. We were not lucky to go to LA for the 7th tournament in LA, and if you look at all the top 8 teams, they all played 2 weeks in the tournament. So the lack of game was a very big factor because we had 5 to we did not convert. We were coming off at 9.5, not doing anything in activity, and we were playing catch up in regards to how we were building up to the Olympics. So any sort of game or any sort of tournament was very key in regards to us in terms of preparation.
One of the positives that was taken from that match was that handling errors were very, very few in that game. If we were to speak about the improvement in how the players, handle the ball and move around, what has been the progress from your analysis?
The team has improved. There are a lot of boxes or good things that are working with the team in regards to even handling, moving the ball across, attacking space. In terms of our set piece and our approach to set piece, if you look at our statistics for lineouts, we won a lot of lineouts back, which is something that is not known for Kenya. So other areas where we are good at, but we didn't execute on the tournament, like breakdown. We were a bit predictable in how we approached contact. And so it was a matter of speed. Our speed of our second man and how the ball carrier approached the breakdown was a concern to us. But in terms of moving the ball, in terms of how we scored tries from fast-paced play. So there's a lot of good things, but they are all fragmented. The thing that we needed is that we needed to play a few more tournaments so that we can bring this together. And if you can look at the tournament towards the end, when we met Ireland again, we bet them 22-0 because now, because of playing together, you sort of get that man of the team and together. So that's where we are, but we are hopeful for this season coming up. We have a work and we players who are really ready to play and represent the country.
I've seen is the introduction of younger players. We've seen Daniel Tabu, Johnston Olindi, all coming through the ranks and starting to make an impact. What's your assessment of these young players who are coming into the Shujaa setup?
They are the future, and I don't want to. It is their time right now because when we begin this next cycle, of course, we'll give more priority to the young guys to have more game time coming up to the Commonwealth Games. And we are looking at all the players who will be relevant or will be at the top form by then. So we are very happy and excited with how they're playing. The biggest thing I think for them is that they are very good players. They can play, but can you play within a structure? Because when you go outside there, you're meeting the best of the best. So there has to be some sense of structure in regards to how you play. So that is what I'm thinking they're learning a lot right now, just playing within a sort of structure and a style of play for the team. And they're really picking it up very well. So going forward, you'll be seeing a lot more of the young guys starting and playing because this is their time now.
The other matter that I would like to talk about, you keep mentioning, about the structure and the boxes that you picked and the young players, the effort to take them onto the club system, such that at the National 7 circuit, if you see as the tour goes around the country, you're able to see things that common about Kenya 7 systems, and as a coach, you get one kind of headache that no one really wants, which is the thing
see about 18 players in the national team, and eventually only 12 may have to travel.
It's a very big problem for Kenya because in a way we run a top-down approach. Because if you look at the quality or the level of play at the level and the international level, there's a very big gap. And a challenge that you have as a coach for the national team in Kenya is that you have to close those gaps. And closing those gaps, that gap is basic things we should have done at the formative stage between age 12 to 18. Yeah. So most of these basic skills like passing, racking, high ball, tackling should have been done early. But we find that because there's a gap and you're going to an international stage, we have to do them. So we end up spending a lot of time to close that gap. And I don't know what the Rugby Union will have to do in regards to maybe have more proactive approach to have better coaches or have more coaches coming in at a level so that the player start pass at the national team. He's a good player, he can run, but he cannot pass off his left hand. Then you have to spend a lot of hours teaching that. You have players who their tackle technique is wrong, so you have to teach them that. There are players, if you look at the sevens games and how it's going in regards to the kickoff, some of the players now encounter the having a system in kickoff and having pods where you lift each other in the they encounter them at the national team level. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done earlier so that it makes the work easier, and as a nation we'll have a better team. But all in all, we have very good players who are willing to learn and are putting in the hard work, and we managed to tick off some boxes. If you look at the team in South Africa and the team in Commonwealth, the team in South Africa had a lot of errors, handling errors. But we've really pushed handling errors, and it has really improved, and you can see how the team is playing, and we're able to attack more freely, and we're able to adapt to rush defenses. If you look at the team tackling percentage in our last tournament in Cape Town, that was in April, yeah. The team had a tackle completion rate of 48%, which is quite low, as in you can't compete with that. And right now we moved to 65. So there's a lot of improvement. But these are basic things which we are teaching tackling technique as a national team. It's not things that we have been doing. So the Olympics, in a way, came at a point where the team was not right. But we believe if we continue with the same work, we will get the team to the right place.
Right now, we continue with our conversation with Innocent Simiyu, who is the coach of Shujaa. So, Innocent Simiyu, we get back to you. And, you know, you've spoken about what the politicians have been throwing barbs about, you know, the bottom-up approach to sport. It's always considered the main thing. And how Kenya at the moment, you know, every school, every club at the grassroots has got its own system. Eventually, how much collaboration or interest is coming from to you, Innocent, if I was to ask, from coaches who have seen a particular way to the national team and they would like to use it at club level or even at school level?
Rugby who are involved. I think what we need is a national dialogue in regards to the style of play of Kenya, because we've had so many coaches. If you look at the last even 4 years, between the last Olympics and this Olympics, we've had 4 coaches. So it's a thing that we need to sit down as a fraternity, discuss what would be the best playing style, and also maybe look for the players who fit that playing style, or develop a style based on the players that are there.
All right. Coach Innocent,
very much for your time this morning, and we hope to see the national team in action in September in Vancouver after once the series returns, and also in Edmonton. All the best to Shujaa. Hope to see you in action, and as you like you say, keep ticking the boxes, and we'll keep cheering the team.
Thank you.
Innocent Shujaa speaking to us from Bungoma County. That's where he works from, building on the Olympics.